Good day and welcome to your most reliable and informative news channel, The News Good. Now, Ghana's Finance Minister, Dr. Cassiel Ato Forson, presented the 2025 budget statement and economic policy to Parliament on Tuesday, March 11, 2025. The budget focused on economic recovery, job creation and sustainable development, with key areas including inflation control, debt management, infrastructure development, and social intervention programs. Now here's a highlight from the 2025 budget statement. Abolition of some controversial taxes. The government announced the abolition of 6 contentious taxes, including the betting tax, electronic levy, emission levy, VAT on motor vehicle insurance policies, tax on unprocessed gold from small-scale miners, and the COVID-19 levy. Economic stability and fiscal target. Dr. Forson emphasized that removing these taxes is a crucial step towards achieving Ghana's fiscal target for 2025, aiming to ease the financial burden on households, increase disposable income, and support business growth. Also, there was a revenue measures put in place to compensate for the lost revenue. The government will reduce the tax refund ceiling from 6% to 4% of total revenue, projected to save 3.8 billion Ghana cedis in 2025.
Program the following nuisance taxes for removal in line with our manifesto promise. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on winning from lottery, otherwise known as the betting tax. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the electronic transfer levy, e-levy, of 1%. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on betting. We will abolish the electronic transfer levy, e-levy, of 1%. We will abolish the emission levy, otherwise as in Wusie tax. We will abolish the VAT on motor vehicle insurance policy. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed gold by small-scale miners. Mr. Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve their disposable income. Right, Honorable Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve their disposable incomes. In addition, it will support business growth.
The question many Ghanaians are asking now is how the government is going to finance its flagship projects mentioned in the 2025 budget after abolishing the taxes stated above. According to the Finance Minister, in his own words, we have stopped the bleeding.
The tax refund account has been abused in recent years. In the last 8 years, a study revealed that 29.1 billion Ghana cedis had accrued to the tax refund account, with only 12.5 billion Ghana cedis, representing 43% of the total accrued amount, being used for tax refund purposes. Mr. Speaker, the study also revealed that 16.6 billion Ghana cedis, representing 57% of the total amount accumulated in the tax refund account, was misapplied. Mr. Speaker, which is a total violation of the Revenue Administration Act 915 and the Public Financial Management Act. Instructively, Mr. Speaker, there were virtually no tax refund arrests over the period. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, we are reducing the current tax refund ceiling by 2 percentage points from 6% to 4% of total revenue, as defined in Section 69 of the Revenue Administration Act 915. Mr. Speaker, by reducing the ceiling on the tax refund from 6% to 4%, Right Honorable Speaker, we have saved the taxpayer 3.8 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, this amount is enough to close the revenue shortfalls from the removal of the e-levy and the betting levy. So, Speaker, the e-levy would have accrued 1.9 billion Ghana cedis, and the betting tax would have accrued 180 million. The two put together is just above 2 billion Ghana cedis. By reducing the tax refund account from 6 to 4, it is enough to remove this tax, and the savings will be provided to take care of social interventions. Mr. Speaker, already we have saved 3.8 billion cedis for 2025 alone from one source, and this is enough to close the gap from the taxes we have removed today. Mr. Speaker, to address the concerns from well-meaning Ghanaians on how we are going to close the revenue shortfalls as a result of the removal of the selected taxes, the answer is that we have stopped the bleeding. We have stopped the bleeding.
The budget also focused on inflation and debt management. It included strategies to control inflation and manage the country's debt, which are critical for economic stability and growth.
Specific interventions, including the Agriculture for Economic Transformational Agenda, is expected to increase food production and reduce food inflation. Government will implement policies that target items with large weight in the CPI basket, such as transportation and utility, to reduce their prices. Mr. Speaker, our aggressive fiscal consolidation drive aimed at reducing the fiscal deficit and borrowing will contribute significantly to reducing inflationary pressures. Right Honorable Speaker, our strategy to improve exchange rate stability will reduce imported inflation and fuel prices. And Mr. Speaker, the Bank of Ghana will maintain an appropriate monetary policy stance.
Also, infrastructure and social programs. The government plans to allocate funds towards infrastructure development, particularly roads, to improve food security and better the lives of Ghanaians, and also free tuition for first years in tertiary schools.
We will strengthen social protection through the implementation of new interventions, such as the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions under the No Fee Stress Initiative. The Speaker, it also includes the free tertiary education for persons with disability, free primary health care, the Ghana Medical Trust Care, otherwise known as Mahama Care, and free sanitation.
The budget also mentions support for the private sector. There is a focus on de-risking the macroeconomy to allow the private sector to grow, with the expectation that it will attract more investment and stimulate economic activity. Now, talking about the allocations, there were a total of 19 key allocations outlined in the budget. These allocations include 1. A 13.85 billion Ghana cedis allocation for the Big Push program. 499.8 million Ghana cedis allocated for the non-academic fee policy for the first-year student in public tertiary institutions. 292.4 million Ghana cedis allocation for the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. 242.5 million Ghana cedis allocated to support victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage. 200 million Ghana cedis allocation to support victims of the tidal wave disaster in Ketu South constituency. A 3.5 billion Ghana cedis allocated for the free secondary education program. 564.6 million Ghana cedis allocation for comprehensive provision for free curricular-based textbooks. 1.788 billion Ghana cedis allocated for the school feeding program. Now, 145.5 million Ghana cedis is allocated for the capitation grant. 203 million Ghana cedis allocation for the payment of teacher trainee allowances. 480 million Ghana cedis allocation for the payment of nursing trainee allowances. 9.93 billion Ghana cedis allocation for the National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS). Also, a 2.81 billion Ghana cedis allocated for the Ghana Road Fund. 7.51 billion Ghana cedis allocated for the District Assembly Common Fund (DACF). 1.5 billion Ghana cedis allocated for Agriculture for Economic Transformation Agenda (AETA). 51.3 million Ghana cedis allocation as seed fund for the establishment of Women's Development Bank. 300 million Ghana cedis allocated for the National Apprenticeship Program. 100 million Ghana cedis allocation for the Ejumera Program. And last but not the least, 100 million Ghana cedis allocation for the National Coders Program. These allocations are designed to drive economic recovery and development, tackling urgent national challenges while setting the stage for sustainable growth.
Right, Honorable Speaker, we are making progress. We committed to running a lean, efficient government of 60 ministers. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the e-levy. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the Burton tax. We have delivered. Right, Honorable Speaker, we committed to eliminate academic fee for first-year public tertiary students. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to providing free tertiary education for all people with disability. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to providing dedicated source of funding for free secondary education. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to distributing sanitary pads to our schoolgirls. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to uncap Get Fund. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to uncap the National Health Insurance. We have delivered. Right, Honorable Speaker, we committed to uncap the Road Fund to maintain our roads. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to hold a national forum on education. We have delivered. Right, Honorable Speaker, we committed to hold a national dialogue on the economy. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver free primary health care. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver Mahama Care Program to finance the treatment of non-communicable disease. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver free textbooks to school children. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to begin the implementation of $10 million Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to constitute a review process for our constitution. Mr. Speaker, we are delivering. Mr. Speaker, we committed to build the Ghana we want together. We are delivering. Right, Honorable Speaker, we committed to recover all looted state funds under our Operation Recover All Loot program. We are delivering. Mr. Speaker, we committed to reset Ghana. We are delivering.
Now, those are some of the top key takeaways from the 2025 budget presented in Parliament. We hope this will be a beginning to the much-expected economic recovery. Let us know your thoughts on this, your favorite allocation, or probably what was mentioned in the budget. Share with us in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. This is the News God, your most informative news channel. I am Angela Deladem Kufuor.